Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the Farmhouse Knitting Podcast, Season 3, Episode 2, and we are joined today by little Mr. James here, and he's going to hang out with me for a couple minutes before he's ready for a nap. We've had kind of a crazy morning, including giving the dog, well, not giving, bringing the dog for his haircut. So we've been all over the place, and his naps are a little bit thrown off, so he's going to hang out with us here and talk knitting with us, and actually a little bit of crocheting today because I am wearing one thing that's crocheted today, and I have a couple other things to share with you guys that I've been knitting, and I'm really excited to share with you guys. I'm really excited to finish. They're both whips that are almost done, and I'm really itching to cast on something new soon, so I am trying to turn a new leaf and just make sure I don't have too many whips going at the same time, because otherwise I don't finish them. And I want to start new things, and I lose interest in the ones that I was doing. And actually, yeah. It sounded super gross, bud. Actually, I do have a couple things that are in timeout that I was knitting. I just scooch in here cozy. He's only going to be here for a few minutes, but I thought I needed to start recording or else I'm going to lose daylight because it's already like 2:30 in the afternoon. So, I have a lot of things that I have in timeout. So I was pretty far into making a sweater that I'm making one for each of my girls, and in the first one I started, and I don't know what happened. My brain, for some reason, can't imagine why, sleepless nights, I just, charts, and I mean, it's not like it was a hard project. It's the calligraphy shawl, or not shawl, pullover that I was working on, and I was knitting the wrong size because in my brain I was going to start with my 2-year-old sweater. And I was knitting the 6-year-old sweater, but using the measurements from the 2. It was all a thing. And so I was like, you know what? We need to start over, and it's just going to have a little time out, and it's nothing wrong with the pattern. It's completely just not a good time for more involved projects. So what I do have to share today, one other thing's in timeout. Let me show you guys. This is pretty sad. Same kind of thing. It's not hard, but it's just not what my brain can handle right now. And I was working on the Andrea Maury's Winter Honey Shawl, which thank you guys for pointing out to me because I was so confused that there was nothing wrong with the shaping that my shawl was turning into last episode. I was just looking at it the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. In my brain, I was starting from the point, and I was like, this is not coming to a point at all. So this is what I have so far of the Winter Honey Shawl. Now, I took a break from this for 2 reasons. One being that, it was hard to remember, and I use place mark, like stitch markers and all that, but still, like I said, it's just one step above what I can handle. Even when the kids go to bed, my brain's just too tired right now to be doing that kind of knitting. The other reason I stopped is I'm not so sure about this yarn. Now, I don't know that I like the drape. It is wool. This is the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted, which is one of my favorites. But for a shawl, I don't know if I'm loving it. I love the color, but it's just, it needs a pause. It needs a little break while I think about what I'm going to do with it and what yarn I'm going to continue it in, because I do love the shawl and I want to finish it. But like I said, it'll have its time, and right now is not it. So those are my two things in timeouts. Like I said, the calligraphy pullover is the other one that's in timeout. I don't have it here. I completely undid it because, like I said, it was just the wrong sizing. But on my Instagram, if you follow me at This Yellow Farmhouse, I have posted little snippets of it here and there. I will get it done. I will be able to share it with you guys. I'm really excited to have it done and have it on the girls, but had to pull it out. Today I am wearing, let's see, I don't have any knit socks on, and the reason is I had these really, really chunky ones on that my sister actually knit me, and I couldn't get my feet out of the boots that I was wearing, and we were like, you know, rushing to go pick up the dog from after his haircut, and I was like, I need to put on smaller socks. So I don't have any knit socks on. They're just like, I think they're from Old Navy, honestly. But this I'm wearing is the Snow Globe Infinity Scarf, and it is so squishy warm. This is actually crochet, and it's a pattern that I published, excuse you, over the weekend, but it's a pattern that I wrote, let's see, lived in our old house when I wrote it. And when I say wrote, it was on like lined paper, and it wasn't all that it is now. But it is very simple. It's very easy. I've had it for a couple years and I haven't worn it because it's in this bin under our bed of things that I've written patterns for, but not published. And so I'm like, well, if I need to take the pictures again or anything like that in the future, I don't want to like get it dirty or ruin it, because I don't want to have to like make it again just to take a picture of it for a finished pattern. So this was in just like a bin with the chicken scratch pattern. Finally came to life over the past couple of weeks, and especially last week, we all were sick in our house last week. We all got it, and we're fine, but I had a little bit extra downtime. I wasn't making videos or anything like that, so I finally sat down and did some computer work and wrote this pattern. So this is just double crochet. I mean, it's bless you. It is double crochet. It's easy. I mean, it's an infinity scarf, so you're working in the round with your hook, but it's very easy. You don't have to do any kind of seaming or anything like that. I mean, you could choose to just work it back and forth. It's really easy, especially seeing as this is the Farmhouse Knitting Podcast. If you're more of a knitter and not so much of a crocheter, this is a really good one to practice on because it's very easy. So it uses Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, and the color is Starlight, which is so pretty. It's got this like metallic sparkle woven through it, and it's just gorgeous. And I think I just had it in my stash and eventually worked up a scarf. This must have been, let's see, we've lived here maybe 3 years, so this must have been like 4 years ago that I wrote it before we moved. So I am rocking some crochet today, which sometimes happens, and it's a good day for it. Snow Globe Infinity Scarf, and we just got hit with a whole bunch of snow the past bunch of days, so it was a good day for it. Actually, I'll insert some footage of what our backyard looked like the other day, because actually I'll include that as my outside our window segment, because we got so much snow that our dog, we have a little Westie, couldn't barely walk through it. It was like it would reach right up to his tummy, and he would walk right outside and take seriously 3 steps and then just stop and go to the bathroom there. Now, he's a boy dog, but he doesn't really know he's a boy dog, so he doesn't lift his leg yet. He's also only like, 10 months. So he hasn't really learned to lift his leg yet, TMI, but he seriously would take 3 steps and just kind of squat, but you couldn't tell he was going to the bathroom. That's how much snow we got, just in a short period of time too. So that is, I guess, the look outside our window, because, you okay? because it did look like an actual snow globe for a while. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be timing, because at first I wasn't sure. I didn't feel like I talked about the pattern, I guess, ahead of time, which, a lot of times you'll see on Instagram leading up to a pattern release, you'll hear people talking about like, this pattern's coming, it's going to be released. And I was second guessing myself. I was like, well, I didn't tell anyone it's coming, like it's just going to be here. And I feel like the weather, God sent me a little sign that was like, you know what, you don't have to do this in any perfect way or order or anything like that. You can have a perfectly good pattern that is ready to hopefully bless someone who might need the perfect, easy, simple beginner crochet pattern. And hopefully it was, it's God's timing. So Snow Globe Infinity Scarf, I'll put a link for down below in the description. So I guess that's my only finished object, being that I finished it 4 years ago and I'm just now wearing it. I will finally keep it with all my other scarves that I can actually rotate out of now. You want to sit, bud? I'm going to show my socks, okay? Yeah. You want to sit and watch? Yes, he is sitting in a dog bed at the moment because this is where the dog comes and hangs out when he wants to get some sun. So, we have a child in a dog bed. It's all good. I only have 2 things to show today that are not finished, that are works in progress. Wow. But they do have a finished pair. So I have one sock that is done that I shared in a last episode. This is just for my husband. I cast on 64 stitches. It's a vanilla sock. And I'm working on sock number 2. And over the weekend I got through the heel, which is always a good place to be because I'm just going to knit for a while and not have to worry about any decreases or anything like that. So I feel like I'm really pushing it with 64 stitches on this 9-inch needle because they want to keep popping off. So that part's been a little bit more challenging. But this is Patons Kroy sock yarn, which I'm watching for. Hopefully you guys warned me that it might get holes in it faster. So I'm watching for that. Also, I'm noticing that it splits very easily when I'm knitting it. So I find myself picking up a stitch, but I actually grabbed half of it and I have to work my way back. Otherwise, it's a very simple project. The hardest part was the heel, and I did have to have extra focus for that because it's just the time of year, like, the season that it is, not just like winter, but like, the season of small people, not a lot of brain space. So that's my first whip. My second is a sock that I shared last time. You all right? He discovered his hands, and so he's a very loud hand chewer. My second whip is this Country Cabin sock, which is also a design by me. But I was talking about how I'm loving this like forest green color. Yeah, and something about just the pine trees with snow in them has been really inspiring me to just work with that color green. This is the Aurora Heather green, of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. So some nice warm wool socks, and I have one finished, and then I have started the next. Now I'm doing the full 5 cables repeat for the leg. And I'll show you what another pair of these will look like, or does look like. So that's what this will look like once it's finished. It's just in this green. But by the time this video actually is edited, I don't think I'll get through the heel and foot and everything. But I'm very excited because, rest in peace, I have a lot of socks that are getting not so much holes, but just pulls in them. And then I have to kind of, wiggle around the rest of the sock, because we have very old floors in our bedroom. And so I find myself needing to wear actually my slippers with my knit socks because the socks keep me warm, but the slippers are actually protecting the bottom of the socks from pulling. So that's what I've been having to do recently, which is kind of nice. Although I'm very uncoordinated in slippers. How do you guys wear slippers, or are you more socks, or are you a slipper sock kind of person like I have been recently? Because I just feel like I end up taking them off so often. Like I can't go up the stairs in slippers. I do really like it though, because as warm as wool socks are, our kitchen floors, the tiles are so cold in the winter time. Our whole kitchen is cold in the winter. We need to check like if they insulated around behind the cabinets when they updated it. But yeah, slippers. I just feel really uncoordinated. I love that I don't have to think when I'm wearing my knit socks. Like if I'm going to jump up on the couch or in our bed and put a blanket on, the socks are already on and I don't have to pull slippers off or anything like that. But mostly I'm just uncoordinated. Like I can't go up and down the stairs in slippers. Maybe it's just the kind I have, but I tell you, I do like some knit socks, but we need to refinish our floors because I just am going through so many of them. So that's why I was like, well, I'll just knit another pair. I love the color. It's perfect for winter. And hey, all my socks are getting holes in them. So this has been very helpful to just kind of knock out some new pairs. Ow, bud, you kicked me. I'm just drinking regular coffee. I think it's like Trader Joe's, whatever I don't know. Something normal. It's not very exciting, and it's just their coffee creamer. Nothing super exciting. I think I put in a teaspoon of sugar. You all right? You stretching? Just a big stretch. Speaking of which, I have to show you guys. I got Joed. Now, this is a segment I do, and I don't do this to promote, like, go spend money at Trader Joe's. Don't go spend money in general, you know. But I do once a month shopping at usually Meijer, our big grocery chain around here. And that's where I'll get, paper towels more in bulk and diapers and that kind of thing, shampoo. But for our weekly shopping, I go to Trader Joe's. And I like it because it's a small store and they have really cool things that they cycle through. So even though I'm going to the same place, I don't get bored of what they have. For example, because Valentine's Day is coming up, I picked up these dark chocolate cookies with sprinkles. And as you can see, if you look in there, like there's not very many left. And I picked these up just a few days ago. These are amazing. So if you have a Trader Joe's near you and you're finding yourself there anyway, I highly recommend these. They had something called Jingle Jangle Mix or something along those lines around Christmas time, and it was a whole tin of just like an assortment of dark chocolate, pretzels, that kind of thing. This really reminds me of that. It's super good. We've been snacking on it. They're really small heart-shaped cookies, so it's cute and festive, but also you can eat like 3 of them and it equals 1 cookie, right? So that is what I'm loving from Trader Joe's right now. And then, let's see, I shared with you what's going on outside of our window today already. I shared my whips, I shared Trader Joe's. I have something to share that is giving me a case of the cozies. Now, same kind of thing, excuse me, same kind of thing. I don't share the case of the cozy section because I want you to go out and buy stuff. I feel very annoyed myself sometimes when I watch other YouTube channels and it's just obviously like an affiliate link that they're talking about every time. Now I do every once in a while have affiliate links that I talk about, for example, my candle obsession, but those are genuine things that I can live without, but I genuinely love those things that I share. But when I hop on and share what's giving me a case of the cozies, and specifically I'm going to be doing a series where once a month I'm going to share just 5 or so simple things that are cozy and giving me a case of the cozies that you don't necessarily have to go buy. You can get, like, for example, what I'm going to share today, like at your library, you can find for free, you can just, find around your house, and really just sharing simple things because I'm just trying to simplify. I'm trying not to spend a bunch of money. This is the year of not buying yarn for me. I am going to work my way through my yarn stash, which is absurd. There's too much yarn. And so anyway, what's giving me a case of the cozies is just, from my heart to yours, my life to yours, just trying to share with you things that are helping me feel cozy, because sometimes you just need coziness to get through what's going on in our world, honestly. And I just want to help other people feel that sense of calm and simplicity. Like I said, just flushing intermission. Anyway, that's a long-winded way to say that what's giving me a case of the cozies today is just the Long Winter, which we are reading as part of our homeschool. It's Lauren Goes Wilder. It's such a good book. It's a chapter book, so if your kids, well, you don't have to read this with kids, honestly. I got this because I wanted to read it. I didn't know if my girls would be quite ready to read it, honestly, but they saw it and they wanted to. They have like the My First Little House books. Excuse me. All sorts of noises around here. So they do know, they are obsessed with Laura and Mary lately, and they've been playing dress up and being Laura and Mary and stuff. And so I did get it for me originally, but now we are reading it as part of kind of our morning basket in our homeschool, and it is very interesting. It's fascinating. I mean, just the things they had to do to get ready for winter. This was the book where they find out they have an Indian come warn them because he's kind of an older Indian. He's been around and he knows that this upcoming winter is going to be one that comes every 20-something years or something like that, where winter is going to last 7 months. And I believe she's living in North Dakota in this book. And so, yeah, this is going to be all about Almanzo Wilder and his brother, and a supply train doesn't come. They have to, they live outside away from town. Well, they know the winter's going to be so bad, and Pa has been like seeing little signs in nature, like the muskrats making their houses extra thick, like back in October. And then they had a blizzard in October, and so they've been seeing these little signs in nature that are kind of showing them what's to come in the winter. So they did decide they're going to go into town. He has a store, like a shop in town. Is it sunny? I'm sorry, bud. So they're going to stay in town. They're going to be by where there's more food and more people and kind of make more of a community of it, which I think is very interesting. Just neighbors helping neighbors and, that kind of thing. Which, speaking of which, our neighbor was out the other day helping shovel our next door neighbor's driveway, and she's 90-something years old. And so that is just really cool to see in a small community. And anyway, that's what's given me a case of the cozies. I feel like it's just given me a lot of perspective. I mean, especially today, we're at like -3 degrees. It's supposed to be even colder tomorrow, like as the actual temperature, not even just wind chill or anything like that. So it's given me a lot of perspective. Like, we don't wake up with snow inside our house and frost inside our house. As old as our house is, I mean, it's old, but they had it a lot harder, and they made bread from scratch like every day, and they just did all these amazing things that really we would be a little bit stuck because we wouldn't really know what to do if that were to happen now. So that's what's giving me case of the cozies. It's very relaxing. They mostly understand it. My kids are almost 6 and 4. So there are parts where, some of the language and stuff they don't really know, but that's all I have to say about that. Definitely worth the read. Like I said, it's the chapter book, and there are 9 others listed here. Well, including the long winter. There are 9 chapter books listed total, so we're going to be checking all those out. Now, I wasn't one who grew up reading these books, actually. I had Christmas in the Big Woods and Dance at Grandpa's, which are actually the ones we have now because they were mine. And I remember watching, was it a show or a movie where the good old bulldog Jack has to cross a river or something? That kind of movie traumatized me, where it was there's something wrong with the dog. The people could be in trouble, and I cared about that, but whenever there was something wrong with the dog, that always affected me more. So that stuck in my mind. So it has been cool to go back and read these books with them, or this book in particular. So it's given me a case of the cozies, and I'm excited to read the rest of them. Are you guys also Laura Ingalls Wilder fans? I know she's had, a lot of people grew up reading it or watching the show, but I feel like she's had she's just gotten more popular in her books in the past couple of years, while we've had an increase in people being interested in homesteading and stuff. So you're looking tired, bud. We're gonna wrap it up, okay? I have one funny little story for my Homebody in the Wild story. Now, I'm a homebody, but I do go out and about, obviously. We brought the dog for his haircut today. So my girls go to Awana, which is a weekly club meeting of kids at our church, where they go and they play games and learn, they learn a Bible verse or a couple during the week, and then they go and recite it to get an Awana dollar that they can then go spend at the Awana store at the end of the year. They had dress up night the other night, and 2 weeks ago, I was there because it was mom or dad night, and they were mentioning that dress up night was coming, and they were asking what some of the kids wanted to be when they grow up, because it wasn't dress up like a princess. It was dress what you want to be when you grow up. And this one little kindergartner yells, "A combine!" And the Awana leader goes, "You can't be a combine. You can be a farmer, but you can't be a combine." That little boy showed up a week later. That little boy was a combine. He had this box that he had painted. He put numbers and whatever brand of whoever makes combines on the side. He painted it. He had the front little scooper things. Now the combine's the farming equipment thing you ride that scoops up the corn when it's time to harvest corn. So it's got those long things out the front, and it scoops it up or something. I don't really know, but that little boy, I was like, okay, we need to go into the rest of our week, the rest of our winter, with the confidence of that boy saying, "I'm going to be a combine when I grow up." Naysayers saying, "No, you can't. You can be a farmer." And then he knocked it out of the park. He was a combine. And I just thought that was too funny not to share. Because she probably thought he meant he was going to be a farmer who drives a combine. No, he's a dreamer, and he's a combine. So that's all that I have to share with you guys today. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to go put this little guy to bed, take a little nap. We've had a crazy morning. Don't eat my scarf, bud. I know. We've had a crazy morning with getting the dog to his haircut and back. So we're going to hang out, go night-night. Oh my gosh, you ate my yarn. Ate my yarn, bud. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope you liked seeing these projects I've been working on, seeing some of the things that are making me feel cozy in our house here. I really like just hanging out with you guys for even a short little bit. Today is especially a little short episode, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye. He's got fistfuls of yarn. He's a yarn hoarder in the making. Bye.